All right, and welcome to another edition of Mpls Bantam B2. I think we're B2 white. Still working on that. Saturday, October 25th, we are in the lovely confines of the Parade Ice Garden, our home turf. And this is a preseason scrimmage against Lakeville. Coming off of a fairly decisive win against Eden Prairie in our opening scrimmage of the season. Lakeville always brings its A game, at least in my experience. Those South Metro families are pretty into hockey, would be an understatement. Got about a minute and a half or so, maybe 2 minutes to puck drop. Boys are warming up, and we'll be back then. All right, puck drop is imminent. And you can see Clark on the left, and that was Graham taking the face-off. Puck into the Lakeville zone and pops up in the air. And looks like that's Jax on the puck. He pushes it down into the corner. Jax looking for it at the half wall. Lakeville pushes it out of the zone, picked up by Cooper. He's trying to get it to the red line for, that was Clark looking for it. Cross-ice pass, and Lakeville player loses his footing. Graham sends it back down behind the Lakeville net. They rim it back around. It's at the half wall, and it's going to go just out of reach for Cooper, who's back there on defense, along with Theron. Theron sends it down into the Lakeville zone. They pick it up. D-man sends it to the blue line, and it's deflected off the Lakeville player's stick. A little bit of action there, and we're going to get an early hook. Lakeville player took exception to Clark's defense, and as did the ref. So Clark heads over to the box to serve the first penalty of the game. So early power play for Lakeville. And that's going to be on the near side of your screen, the Minneapolis zone. Lakeville wins the face-off initially, and we're going to hold it up. Looks like Coach Landers telling Bennett to get off the ice so that we have the right number of players out there. I think it's Max taking the face-off. He gets it over to Fred. Fred sends it back to the blue line. Lakeville has it. Puck just kind of floating out there. And that's sent along the wall. Fred trying to push it out. Gets only as far as another Lakeville defender. He'll backhand back over to Fred. Fred trying to push it out. Still tied up, though, and get a quick shot low, pad save. It's Graham and net today. Graham Johnson, of course, not Graham Deacon, who's skating. And that's Jude down there battling for it now. Puck is right behind the net. And little centering pass, deflected, quick backhand. I think it went off of Graham's face mask. It's Jude over there battling for it in the corner. Gives a little shove to his man. And now that loose puck gets picked up by Max. Max going to skate ahead with it. And broken up. Fred trying to get it back in the zone. No dice, though. And bouncing puck eventually sent into the Minneapolis zone. And that'll be offsides on Lakeville. .53 seconds to go in the power play for Lakeville, 9:58 on the clock. Lakeville wins the faceoff. They send it forward. And they get into the zone. And big hit there. And that's Cooper. Looks like he got the worst of it. And he's back up. And looks like he's going to deliver some retribution. Bouncing shot. That one tipped wide by Lakeville. And sent out another big hit from Lakeville. I was telling Fred before the game he should probably assume that Lakeville's going to try to deliver the big hits. That's been my experience playing the South Metro teams, as they are not afraid to give you a big check. Dump from Wyatt, who sends it down. Lakeville picks it up behind their own net, comes out. Quick pass up to the half wall, mishandled though, and that's going to get picked up by Theron, who gets dumped. Big check from a big boy, Now Graham battling. Graham in his second year as a Bantam, so he knows a thing or two about checking. Lakeville sends it out, pushed ahead, and they're into the zone with some speed. Shot goes wide, comes all the way around, and that's picked up. It was Theron absorbing the contact, kind of a slow push. I don't know if it was a shot or a pass, or he's just trying to get rid of it, but results in Lakeville having to cover it as it was on target. Power play's over, still no score. Lakeville with 2 shots, Minneapolis with that play that you just saw, actually. That would be the first shot we've registered. Max over to take the face-off. Fred to his left. And Fred with it. He centers it, and, well, actually just went behind the net. Max battling for it, along with, can't quite pick out the number, sorry. That's Peter in pursuit. Peter now picks it up, and he sends it back down into the zone. Fred's going to go chase it. He's got help from Bennett. Bennett stands up his man, wins the puck, and centering pass is deflected off a skate. Fred with a shot. That one went wide. Fred looking for it. It was caught between his skates. And zone is held by Theron. Theron battling a bit, and now it's out. Lakeville with it. Temporarily picked up by Max. Quick passing. Fred with a nice move gets it ahead right back to Max. Max going to get that shot off, and gloved and caught by Lakeville. Good sequence there. Couple of quick passes. I'm not even sure who made the pass in the middle of that sequence, but looking a little bit more like last week's game with that passing sequence. So hopefully we can keep that up. And that is Wyatt out to take the face-off. He gets it to his line mate. It's dropped to Mason. Mason sends in a slap shot. That one goes to about the middle of the right circle. Lakeville comes up with a loose puck, and it's deflected out. Jude throws it back in, but we're offside. Had not cleared the zone yet. I guess we don't do delayed offsides and bantams. I can never quite remember what the rule is, but no delayed offside, or at least not in the scrimmage. Puck goes around the Lakeville zone. Lakeville misplaying a lot of the passes, and we come up with it. Shot there by Clark, and that is deflected, and then Clark takes a big hit. Lakeville quickly through the neutral zone, trying to gain the corner. That's going to be a good centering pass. Well, the pass really wasn't that good, but it was a good play in any event, and the centering pass just went behind the Lakeville player. Got Jax pushing it forward. He's up into the corner, and that's Clark in pursuit. Clark dislodges it. It's loose. Jax throws it against the end wall. That's back to the corner, and that is picked up by Graham. Graham sends it back. Centering pass from Clark. Nobody home. And Lakeville clears the zone. Once again, they kind of misplay the pass. A little sloppy from them. Nice stick handling from Bennett, who gets off a quick shot there from the right side. That one goes wide. Graham in pursuit. Lakeville skating behind their own net. They send it to the half wall. Picked up, dropped, and sent back in. That's Theron with the puck. Sends it against the wall, drops it down into the corner. Graham is out there, and Graham's going to drop it. Picked up. And quick shot. Fred with a chance. Backhand, and saved. And Cooper threw it in there on net, and then the puck was loose for a minute. Fred with a little backhand. Didn't get quite enough on it to go upstairs. Play stops at 6:01 to go. Minneapolis now at the advantage. Shots on goal, 4-2. Not a ton of shots for either team so far. Minneapolis wins the faceoff, drops it, but it's picked off by the Lakeville player. Sends it long, and this is going to be dangerous. Quick shot. Graham equal to the task, now kicked away by Max, who's going to skate it out of the zone. Max eludes the first man. He's got Fred streaking. And Max looking for the pass. Gets stood up. I should say his pass got deflected. Fred in pursuit behind the net. Now Peter dropping back to defend. And Lakeville skates past. They're headed down towards the corner. Nice little cover from Mason, who comes across to cover for Peter. Fred's going to pick it up at about the blue line. He's looking to pick up some speed. Looked like a penalty there. And Fred centers, gets it off the back of the net, bounces down harmlessly. And at the half wall, can't see who that is. It's Jax with the puck. Gets dispossessed at the end wall, but he's still battling. And eventually we dump the Lakeville player. That's a good idea there from Clark, who sent a backhanded pass, but it exited the zone. Now we pick up the loose puck and throw it back in. Lakeville with it at about the blue line. They go cross ice and ahead. Tip, so no icing. It's going to be picked up by Jude. Jude, a little exit pass. And off the stick of Clark. Clark defending and deflects it back into the Lakeville zone. Lakeville throws it back out. Picked up by Wyatt. Wyatt loses it in his skates. Lakeville pushes it down into the corner. Got Jude. He comes across. Gets it ahead to Clark. Lakeville picks it off. Now Clark is going to try to win the foot race here and does. Clark into the zone. Clark with a good pass. A little behind Bennett, out of his reach. Nice little step up there from Graham, who sends it back down behind the Lakeville net. Theron absorbs some contact, sends it back behind the net. Great centering pass there. Graham with a couple of chances. Wouldn't call him grade A, but a decent one. And that one's thrown in on net by Theron and forces the save from Lakeville. Judging from the jerseys, this is the Lakeville South neck of the woods. Lakeville, of course, having two powerhouse high school hockey teams, Lakeville North and Lakeville South. It's Max on the draw. Fred battling for it. Gets it out to Mason, who quickly drops it. Nice passing sequence again. Fred fanned on it. Was looking for probably a pass from that angle. And Max pushes it back, but it's picked off by Lakeville. Passes into the skates, though. Loose puck picked up by Theron. Theron skating around. Goes behind his net, surveys the scene. Little flip ahead, not quite enough on it, but Lakeville's pass is errant. And now it's pushed ahead. Bennett in pursuit. Bennett, great pass, but read well by the Lakeville South player to stop a streaking Max. Contact there. Fred picks it up, throws it into the Lakeville zone. He's in pursuit now. Out to neutral ice. And Lakeville still skating with it. Down into the corner in the zone. We don't clear, but good defensive pressure breaks things up. Still in our zone. Cooper in pursuit. Puck behind the net. And Fred pushes his man out and forces the pass in, which will be offsides on Lakeville. .234 to go in the first, scoreless. 6-3, we're doubling them up on shots at the moment. And Wyatt battling in neutral ice. Picked up by Mason. Mason with a nice pass. He picks out Jax, I believe. Jax trying to toe drag his way through there. Now Clark back to try to dislodge the puck. And it's at the blue line. And Wyatt takes one. That was Mason. Mason was firing in the wrister, but unfortunately it caught Wyatt. Looks like in the arm, I think. Maybe in that spot where there's no padding. Good defensive play from Mason. Takes out a couple of players in the process. Clark battling for it, and puck's outside of the zone and back in and offsides now. 1:56 to go in the first period. Carol on the music over in the box. Gives us some classic Metallica from 1984, For Whom the Bell Tolls. And the face-off ends up with the puck down in the corner. It's picked up by Graham. Graham looking for the pass, but he fanned on it. Bennett now battling in the corner. He pushes it ahead. Puck's loose, ends up in the right circle, and Lakeville skating out with some speed. Looks like 3-on-2, and that's Peter defending. Quick shot. That one gobbled up by Graham. It was a low shot. Graham down into the butterfly, deals with that one. Face-off coming on the far side of your screen in the Minneapolis zone. All right, we come out of the face-off with it, and a moment there I thought we were going to get a look. No dice. Jude breaks it up, sends it cross-ice. Bennett in pursuit along with Max. He's got Fred there too. Kind of a lot of Storm players hanging out there at that blue line. Carroll really updating his soundtrack this year, sounds like. Drops the Beastie Boys into the mix. And Max on the face-off. Max kicks it ahead. Puck still loose. Again, a lot of sticks in there, but it's like Lakeville's going to come out with it initially here. They skate into our zone, looking to gain the corner. Change the direction. Dropped. Max picks it up. Skates through some traffic. Exits the zone. And Max kind of by himself right now. Looks like we're changing. The rest of the line's changing. And puck hits the ref. Actually, we're going to get a high stick call. Puck was played with a high stick, evidently one of our players. So we'll head back down to the far side of your screen in the Minneapolis zone. Wyatt out on the draw. Won by Lakeville. They send it back down. Comes all the way around the net. And puck is loose. Clark battling for it at the blue line. And, boy, it looked like it was close to offsides, but no call. Deflected. I think that was Theron with the deflection. Puck loose. A little battle there. Wyatt throwing it into the zone, but it hits a Lakeville player in the chest. And we still have it, though. Graham takes his time and gets it across. That was Jax. And we just avoid the offside there. Theron jumping up into the play here. And that will do it for the first period. 6-4. Shots on goal. No score for either team. Kind of an interesting contest. Nobody's really had a great chance. I'd say we've had maybe the better chances, although I felt like maybe Lakeville started out a little stronger, and we've kind of found our way into the game as things progressed here. Coach Landers is over there writing on the board, giving the boys some good instruction on what to do as they regroup for the second period. Don't know if Carroll's just overdriving the speakers or what, but the Parade South speakers kind of sound like they've seen better days. I think he's got some Grandmaster flash on right now, but the speakers are not equal to the task. All right, about to get underway with the second period. Still scoreless. Graham out to take the face-off. He's got Fred to his left and Bennett to his right. Peter at left D-man, and he is joined by Theron at right D. Ref tells the kids to back up and drops the puck. Bennett comes out with it, sends it forward. That's into the Lakeville zone. They retreat with it. We'll change the direction. That's going to be a chance. And quick shot comes in from Bennett. Went a little wide. Lakeville with it, kind of hanging around in the slot, living a little dangerously. Pass picked off by Graham alertly. Back to Fred. Fred walks it in. Fred, great centering pass. And I think that was Bennett again, who's just tied up there. Lakeville's had some pretty good defensive interventions at the last moment. Peter with a nice check there to separate his man from the puck. And it goes all the way down, icing waved off. Lakeville goaltender comes out to play it. And Lakeville tries to get it along the half wall, and they do get it out of the zone. Peter wisely drops it back to his defensive line mate, Theron. Theron fanned on it initially, and then it was deflected when he tried to clear. But Theron recovers, goes behind the net, surveys the scene. Little flip pass. That also goes off one of our players. Now another pass. Good stretch pass there. Clark's going to get onto that. Great pass from Clark, and we score. There's your opener. Really nice pass from Clark to find Graham, and Graham does the rest with a low shot, stick side. Graham pretty active. I think that's his third goal in 2 scrimmages. So good start for Graham. 1-0, that goal coming at 1:13 of the second period. As Max taking the face off. And he's got Clark out there with him on the left, battling for it. Puck exits the zone, and I think we're going to be offside, yeah. Cooper looking to kind of walk the line and stick handle his way while his teammates try to get out of the zone, but no dice. Max on the face-off, poked ahead. That was Jax. And that puck sent out of the zone. Mason back in pursuit. Mason's got it. Turns. Passes it ahead. And now it's loose. Back behind the net. Little check there from Cooper to knock his man down. Nice forecheck from Clark. Clark's got to get back, though, onside. And well-timed there. Nice pass from Jax across to Mason. Now we got potential breakaway situation. Cooper back to defend that one, and good save from Graham. Stands tall to snuff out that scoring chance for Lakeville. Little battle, and looks like, yep, penalty coming. We got a trip. I think it's going to be Cooper headed to the box. Indeed, it will be Cooper to serve this one. And we get Back in Black. Haven't heard that one since the last hockey season. I'm sure I'll be hearing it a few more times. Penalty coming at 2:17 of the second period. Lakeville wins the faceoff, sends in a wrister. That one gloved easily by Graham, and we will rinse and repeat in the same spot. Bennett ties up his man, and Fred overskates it just a little bit. Then he ties up his man. Now Bennett with it. Can't quite force it out of the zone, though. Lakeville sends it back. Karam's off the side of the pipes. And puck back out to the blue line. Lakeville centering pass, or I'm sorry, a pass that gets cut off. And that was Bennett chasing along with Fred. Lakeville manages to make it out of the zone through neutral ice. I think that was a shot. That went wide. At the point, that one goes through, but it's deflected down. Blocked shot. That was Jude with the block. Fred deflects it off of his skate. Puck is bouncing around a bit, but Lakeville holds. Good pass. And deflected by Bennett. Shot comes in from the point and clear. That was a important clear from Peter there to relieve some of the pressure. About 45 seconds to go in the power play for Lakeville. And that will be icing. It was very close. Kind of looked like it might have even caught the corner of Graham's pad there, but in any event, we'll get the icing call. And we'll head back down to the far side in the Lakeville zone. The season opening appearance of Welcome to the Jungle. Lakeville wins the face-off, and they send it back around the boards. It's at the half wall, now pushed ahead. Lakeville with 2-on-2, and that's Theron skating back, centering pass. That one broken up, and I think that's Wyatt that just cleared it out. Lakeville offsides, now they get back on. Wyatt's going to pick it up at the half wall. And changes direction. Quick pass around the back. And that one bounced out by Theron. Clark absorbing some pressure. He gains the corner. And he was looking for the centering pass at the backhand. Didn't quite work. And there is Cooper, fresh out of the box to pick up that thing. And we are offside. Kind of a bang-bang play there as the puck had been cleared. Might have even been icing if Cooper let it run through, but Cooper had just stepped out of the box and really wanted to get out. Graham is going to switch now, and Charlie heads into net for the remainder of this game. 7:35 to go in the second period, and Carroll gets out Duhast from Rammstein. Good call, Carroll. Duhast. We win the faceoff, and it's thrown back down into the corner by Jax. Jax picks it up, centering pass, and D-men looked like they were a little confused about who was going to step up and take that one. Some early season jitters there. Jax pushes it ahead to Graham. Graham got ahead of steam and was looking for a shot, fanned on it. Still got it, though. He's in the corner now. And that looked like a trip or something, but no dice. I think that's Jax with it, and he gets disrupted just at the last minute. Centering pass, and that's Jude stepped up. Oh, that's a good centering pass that came in from Fred. It was tipped, and the tip went just wide. Now Lakeville with it, trying to clear their zone. Jude's going to step up, though, and get there first. Jude centers it again, went just wide of Fred, who appears to be headed off for a change. And kind of looking a little dicey with too many men on the ice, but we come up with it, no penalty, and that's Clark in pursuit. Lakeville to the half wall, out to the blue line. And looks like penalty coming again. It's going to be Peter. Peter for interference. I didn't see it. I was distracted by somebody's ringtone. I thought that my phone was ringing, but it was someone else's. All right, we win the faceoff. We're on the we're on the penalty kill again here. That's Bennett with some speed. Gets out ahead. Bennett's still with it. Oh, good centering pass, but we're down a man, so nobody crashing the net for that one. Nice move from Bennett, though, to bring it all the way down and kill off some time, if nothing else. Lakeville gains the corner. This is going to be dangerous, and he likes to go backhand instead of making the easy pass that probably would have been a goal. Shot comes in from the point, deflected off their big man. And Clark is going to try to clear it, but stood up at the point by Lakeville's D-man. Shot goes in. Charlie sends that back wide. Big hit there. And we're going to get a penalty. I'm not really sure why. Cap and I are both looking at this with the same look of incredulity. I'm not sure why that was a penalty. We'll see what the call is. It just looked like a check from Mason. A good check at that.
Is that Mason?
Yeah. Yeah. So wait for the Zebras call here. No, he's not going to give me the mime. Not quite sure what he called. Must not have liked something about the check, but I can't. I can't figure. It seemed like a clean check to me, so. And now we've got 3 in the box. I don't know what's going on over there. This is when I need to be on the scorekeeper side of things, but I don't know why. We've got Max is in the box too. So 2 penalties. It's a 5-on-3. I should probably tell you who's out there. Cooper, Fred, who clears it, and we've got Theron out there as well. So Cooper, Theron, and Fred. Fred iced it. Okay, I think I guess it's a 10-2 for Mason. I don't know. I mean, they must have said it was a check from behind, but it did not look like that from here. It seems pretty harsh. Shot hits the post. Kind of dodge a bullet there. Same 3 are still out there. Lakeville trying to work its advantage here with 2 men extra on the ice. Puck back at the end line. Now back to the point. They're going to send it in, but a good block there. Blocked, and they stay in, and Fred clears. About 25 seconds to go on that first power play for Lakeville. We change. Cooper's still out there. And it's deflected into the zone. Cooper's going to pick it up, though. Change direction. And he clears it. And that'll be offside. Puck was just inching over the blue line. So we're at 4:29 to go in the first. We're up 1-0. We are behind on shots now, 8-7. The first power play or man advantage is set to expire here. Lakeville just kind of walking it in. They send it low. Easy pad save for Charlie. We send it back out to about the half wall. They go cross ice, and here comes our guy out of the box. So many guys in the box, it looks like it is Max, who I think Max was serving the 2-minute on behalf of Mason. So we're back to 5-on-4 for about another 30 seconds. And big hit there. That's Clark who dropped his man. And that puck exits the zone. 20 seconds now to go. And Lakeville with it again. Quick shot, that one. High and wide, fortunately for us, it had some heat. One of their big boys with a big shot. Lakeville tracking back into their own corner. Now they're going to go back around the net, change directions. Kind of mishandled it. Bennett with a chance and deflected now off of Jax's stick, who's got an aggressive back check, and he forces the offsides with the pressure. So we were back to full strength. Good job by Storm killing this thing off. It was a 5-on-3 advantage. So Mason forced to hang out in the box for about another 7.5, 8 minutes. And flipped off of the window. Puck and neutralized, little battle for it. And that was Jax coming up with it. Fred in pursuit now as Lakeville has it. Good pass from Lakeville. They get into the zone, but Theron there to stand things up. And he gets it ahead to Jax. Jax in with some speed. Oh, that's a big hit. And Jax just absorbs it, and the Lakeville player goes down. Looked like he actually punched Jax in the head on that, but Jax just skated right through it like nothing happened. Peter in pursuit, sends his man into the boards, but not enough to separate him from the puck. Peter's still on it, and Lakeville fans on it. Now they've got it in the slot, and not much on that backhand. Easy pickings for Charlie to deflect. Little hit there from Max. Lakeville's still on it. Now Fred's got it. If Fred can get out of there, he's got some space, but Lakeville gets it back and sends it in. That will be offsides. 2:28 remaining. Lakeville opening up a big advantage now with shots on goal, 12-7. But we still have the lead, 1-0. Wyatt's going to take the face-off. He's got Bennett to his right, Clark to his left. Lakeville wins it. And that is Jude stepping up. His clearance attempt might have even, I'm not sure, he might have caught the Lakeville coach with that. Went into the bench area. Lakeville wins the face-off. Sent down to the corner. Lakeville sends it back around. It's at about the half wall. Clark trying to use his backhand to flip it out of the zone. No dice. Now ahead to Clark again. This time Clark clears it. Lakeville back to recover it. Bennett lurking. And him and Clark back to defend now. Lakeville with it at the half wall. Shot comes in. That one well wide. No danger there. Now it's at the point. They fan on it. And we've got a chance here. That's Wyatt. He's got Bennett streaking with him. And Wyatt gets tied up right at the critical moment there. Unfortunately, because he had Bennett with him. Well defended by Lakeville, though. Cooper picks it up, trying to create some time and space as our players exit the zone. Now he's tied up right at the blue line. Cooper really battling for it with two Lakeville players. Now Graham's going to come out with it. Cooper dropped his man, I think, after the scrum. Getting a little more physical out there now. Graham's still in the corner with it. Jack's with it as well. He gets stood up. Fred hanging around in the slot looking for a pass, but too much traffic there. That one squirts by, but we pick it up. Fred sends it back down to keep it in our zone. Lakeville looking to clear, and that one does bounce over the stick, and that'll be icing. About 48 seconds to go. Still 1-0 for the good guys. Now we get the Wild's old goal-scoring tune, the old Joe Satriani tune. I prefer it to the current goal-scoring tune. We win the face-off. Nice passing sequence. Theron's going to unload the wrister, and it goes in! I think that one is Theron's goal. It looked like Graham was out there as well. I don't think he deflected it, though. I think he just did a nice job of screening the goalie. So Theron with the wrister from the point opens up a 2-goal lead. Great time for a goal at the end of the second period, or towards the end of the second period. That one coming at 10:17. Sorry, 11:17 of the second period. Might be Theron's first goal this season. Puck pushed ahead to Fred. He's trying to push it ahead now, and that's... Puck was up in the air. Clark with it. Fred in pursuit again. Jack's pursuing it and knocks it loose. Theron ahead. And he finds Graham. Not a ton of time here. About 20 seconds. And Graham loses it. Lakeville with it. And they get out of the zone. Pass is in the skates, though. And the loose puck now picked up. Good stick handling from Clark. Gets a shot off, but it is deflected. So that's the end of the second period. Minneapolis with a 2-goal lead now. Lakeville with the advantage on the shots, 12-8. Probably chalk some of that advantage up to the fact that they have not taken any penalties, and we've taken 3, including a major. So Coach Lander's having to juggle his lines a little bit as Mason hangs out in the box. Pretty evenly matched game. Minneapolis just a little bit more opportunistic with their shots, converting 25% of them, actually. 2 out of 8. So we'll have to tighten up the defense a little bit and hopefully avoid any more penalties here to try to close this thing out in the third period. Mason heads back to the box. We need a 5th skater. And it'll be Fred at left wing. Max centering the line, and there's the faceoff. Bennett at right wing to start things off. Clark defending on the left, and Theron on the right. Centering pass to Fred, and Fred redirects. Saved. Lakeville wins the battle behind the net and comes out with a bit of speed. Clark tracking his man, forces him into the corner. He'll change the direction, but the Lakeville player loses the puck. Good centering pass. And that's Theron looking for the stretch pass to Bennett. Picked off, and Lakeville back into our zone. Deflected puck. Charlie gloves that one, making it look easy. So we're at running time now, 15 minutes of running time. to close this thing out. Wyatt on the draw, and he gets it over to Jax, I believe. Nope, that was Cooper. Peter with a nice little backhanded flip. That one ahead for Wyatt, who almost was clear. And Peter pushes it down into the zone. No offsides. Lakeville circles their net and passes it across their zone. Now ahead. Good breakout from Lakeville. They don't really have numbers, though. And they elect to dump and chase. Jude pushes it back out along the sidewall. Now Lakeville recovers it. Good defending from Wyatt, ties up his guy. And that puck right behind the net, flipped over to the corner. Peter with it, gets it past his man, and that will clear the zone. Well weighted from Peter. And puck deflected, little stick handling there. That's Cooper. And there's actually a shot there from Lakeville. Not much on it. Charlie made quick work of that. Peter with it, trying to clear. Stood up at the half wall. Puck whipped in. Bounces against the end wall and out. And now Jax trying to get that puck clear, and he does. Puck rolling around on its end. Looked like it hit a ramp there at the red line. Not sure what's out there, but probably a hazard for the skaters. Lakeville misplays it, and that one's going to go deep into their zone. Peter in pursuit along with Graham. And living dangerously. Quick change of direction right in front of their own net from Lakeville. Takes a bit of confidence, but Lakeville comes out with it. Quick shot. Whew, that thing had some heat. I think it went off of Charlie's stick. Good save from him. Tied up at the half wall now. It's at the point. Shot coming in. Deflects off of a Lakeville player in the left circle. And out to the half wall. Good stick handling from Peter. Fans on the pass, but then gets it ahead to Graham. Graham stands it up, or gets stood up at the blue line. Peter with it again, pushing it forward. And now it's cleared by Theron. He flips it up. Lakeville sends it down, skips over Theron's skate. He tracks it down in the corner and backhands it back behind the net to Clark. Clark looking for the stretch pass. What a pass from Clark. You could see him sizing that thing up. Peter has it, and he's going to drop it. Good centering pass. And Graham with the backhand. Another good centering pass. It's just hanging out there. Bennett battling for it. Boy, that was a great sequence. And that one dropped. Theron's going to unload it. Oh, the puck is loose. Another good chance for Graham. It was just sitting there on the doorstep, and Graham had to figure out where it was. It went off the pads of the Lakeville netminder off of Theron's shot. Graham well positioned again. 15-12 now, shots on goal. Still in favor of Lakeville, but we are in the lead 2-0. Bennett on the draw, gets it over to Fred. Fred's going to send it in. Oh, Fred hits the crossbar. That thing had some heat. Just a little off target. Cooper gets it to his D-man partner. And that one ahead. That one, I think is going to roll. Nope. It's going to roll right at the goalie, who makes a mistake. That puck was rolling on just on its end for almost the entire rink length. And he just misplayed it a bit. Great centering pass. There it is. Oh, there's a fabulous centering pass from Max. And the shot just went over. It was Jax looking for it. Got tied up right at the end. Oh, good defensive work from Jude. Jude gets it back. Fred trying to evade his man at the half wall. Gets his pocket picked. And now Lakeville headed through. We push it down to the corner. Now stood up. We got all 5 of our guys back there. Good back check from everybody. Cooper picks it up, sends it to the corner. Trying to push it ahead with Cooper and Jude down there. Lakeville, though, sends it back. Rolls back. It's right at the point, and Lakeville just barely keeps it in somehow. We've got some numbers. Kind of wish that we wouldn't have changed on that. We had a potential 3-on-2. with Max leading the charge, but we elect to change. Lakeville comes up with it, having numbers against us. Nice forecheck from Bennett, who slows things down. And that one goes harmlessly into our zone. Theron looking for the stretch pass. And big hit. Lakeville not shy about throwing their mitts at people's head. Good stretch pass there. And that was a good defensive play there. Good shoulder-to-shoulder check to separate Max from the puck. Lakeville with it now. They drop it into their zone. For the long pass, but they kind of cut off their own pass there. Peter dumps his man, and Max is going to come up with that puck. Max looking for the shot. Got blocked at the last minute, or at least deflected, and it goes wide. Lakeville with it at the half wall. They get it out, but they miss the pass. And Theron back. Sends it back behind his own net. And good stretch pass there. Clear things out. Fred with a head of steam. And trying to get the corner. He does. And Fred goes a little wide. Wyatt battling for it. Still battling. Great pass to Fred. And that one, Theron sends in a heater, and Fred just stuck his skate up in the air. Actually, I think he was trying to get out of the way and deflected it. Theron, good stick work to slow down the exit from Lakeville. We're offside, by the way. Good shift that time. About 7:15 to go. Still 2-0 Minneapolis. 15-13 shots on goal in favor of Lakeville. That's Graham out to take the face-off. He's got Peter to his left and Bennett to his right. Also on the ice as the defensemen are Cooper and Jude. Puck is tied up in the neutral zone, and that is Graham trying to push it forward, tying up his man at the half wall, and he's going to come out with it. Bennett now. Bennett delivers a hit, separates his man from the puck, and Bennett again causing some havoc down there. Peter was looking for Bennett, who's been really active down there on this shift. Now it's at the point. Cooper tries to evade his man, and Cooper just pushes right on through. Cooper's going to tee it up, and he scores! Felt like Cooper waited an eternity to pull the trigger on that one, but the result was exactly what you would want. Puts it into the top left corner. Goes over the blocker. Clock is running, so that one coming at around a little less than 9 minutes in. So we extend the lead to 3 goals. 15-14 now shots on goal. Very opportunistic from us. Lakeville with the puck. They still haven't cleared the zone. Now they clear it. Deflected by Jax. Now back in the neutral ice. And big hit delivered that time by Max. Theron with it. Goes cross ice. Finds Clark. Clark looking for a pass, but it's broken up. Lakeville now comes in with it. And Lakeville's got to be offside. Yeah, they are. So on the ice right now, Max is at center, Fred on the left. He's got Jax on the right. And Clark and Theron back there at D. We win the face-off. It's Jax coming out with it. Stick handles through, gets it to Max. Max looking to center. He does, but it was behind Fred. And Lakeville picks it up. Puck still loose. Max with it. Changes direction. Centering pass. We need somebody out there at the doorstep. Max battling to put something through. Now we get a cross check at the end after the whistle. A little bit of extracurricular there. Refs are going to let that one go. Kind of a needless cross check. But up 3-0, I guess we're not going to get that one. Wyatt at the dot. And he drops it all the way back. Puck rolling on its end. Theron's going to track back to neutral ice. and take it around. Theron fans on the passing attempt. We are able to clear the zone, though. Lakeville and neutralize, flips it back to the red line. And they gain the zone, but tied up, sandwiched between Wyatt and Clark, who are having none of it. Lakeville picks our pocket in the corner, and they get taken down, though. A little battle on the half wall, about 4 players down there. Shot comes in, not a lot on that wrister, and it's deflected back out. And icing waved off. Puck was not going to make it to the end line. Puck is loose in the Lakeville zone. Mason with it now. He's finally allowed to come back out on the ice after that long penalty. Lakeville gains the zone. And easy blocker save for Charlie. Wyatt battling in the corner. Lakeville player goes down. Theron battling as well. Theron pokes it forward. Good hands from him. Gets it to his D-man, and quick pass there from Wyatt. He was looking for Mason, but really good passing there to get out of the zone. Charlie comes back to the trapezoid area to play it, and it's to Fred at the half wall. Fred takes a big open ice hit. And Fred's got it again, gets past his man, and loses a stick. Otherwise, he was through. Kicks it forward with his skate. We got a penalty coming. It's going to be a slash, which is why Fred lost his stick. So we get the first penalty of the game on Lakeville. About 2 minutes to go, a little over 2 minutes, so we'll spend the rest of the game, I think, on the power play. Graham will take the faceoff. He's got Fred to his left, Jax to his right. They are backed up by Jude and Cooper. Fred with the puck. He's going to launch it. Looking for it. He was hoping for that breakaway opportunity before he got slashed, I think. Jax battling for it. And now he drops it. Or I'm sorry, that was Graham dropping it back to Jax. Fred hanging around on the doorstep. Graham drops it back to his D-man. That's Jude. Jude going to launch that thing in. That thing had some heat. Good chance, Graham trying for the rebound, but Lakeville player didn't really allow much of a chance there for Graham. Max out for the draw. He's got Mason to his left. Mason's going to come up with the puck. Good choice. Drops it for Cooper with the slapper. It's a juicy rebound, but nobody really well positioned for it. Lakeville is going to clear this one. Should be icing. And it is. One minute to go. .30 shots on goal, even 16 for both teams. Same lineup. Max on the draw, ties up his man. And Max gets it back to Peter at the point. Peter loses his footing. He's just going to send it right back down. And that puck sent back behind the net. Quite the battle there going on between Max and another player. Actually, that was Mason. Oh, Mason with a chance. Or is that Max? I think it was Max battling for the shot. Kind of a lot of action down there. That'll be about the end of the game, though. And Lakeville out of the box. We're going to get one last shot from Peter, and that one deflected. That one almost went in. And we're going to get a little extracurriculars there, but that'll do it. 3-0. Oh, really nice start for Minneapolis. 2 fairly convincing wins in a row here against some out-of-district opponents. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you at the next scrimmage, which is tomorrow.